So this is a collective reading. It's the Aries New Moon, which is kind of a transformative time, I would say. If you're not on the right path, I feel like the universe is going to shake things up to get you on the right path. It's already done that with me, I feel like. But I like to use books as oracle cards. So I'm going to start the reading off with just a page I turned to, and it's called The Sacred Magic of the Kabbalah. This is written by Manly P. Hall. It's got different chapters that talk about like the Hebrew alphabet and numbers and stuff like that. So it's such a thin book but has so much information in it. I just felt called to start the reading with this book. So we're on page 35, which is an 8. 3 plus 5 is 8, which to me means like Christ consciousness, listening to our hearts instead of our heads. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Peace can never result from the rulership of extremes, for as the pendulum swings in one direction, so it will swing back and react in the opposite direction. Interesting. So that was from this book. That's how we're going to start the reading. Kind of sounds like Murphy's Law a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to start with this ethereal deck. I try to set it up so you can see me shuffle. People freak out when they can't see me shuffle, which I get it. I like watching people shuffle too. I'm a little OCD though. When it comes to shuffling, I have a little routine. I also have my TV on in the background, in case anything pops out at me. Sometimes things in the room will stick out at me. So this is like a tarot oracle channeled reading. So we're starting out with the 9 of Cups. This is all about emotional fulfillment with the self. 10 of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment, with that last cup being from someone else. But the 9 of Cups is about being completely emotionally fulfilled within yourself. Cups are water energy. It's just about emotions, about our power. So let's see what's crossing this. That's the foundation of the situation. What's crossing this? For some reason, I'm hearing wish fulfillment in my head. I mean, this is as in alignment as you can get. So talking about this Aries full moon, foundation of the situation is basically being in alignment. Okay. So I only take cards that flip over. These two flipped over. 5 of Swords and 5 of Pentacles. This is what's crossing this. So this is crazy. This is what's holding us back. So this is complete emotional fulfillment. 9 of Cups, okay? With thyself. And what's crossing this, the obstacle, are like the two most transformative cards. These are the crossroads. They're both 5s, which is a transformation number. Like number 5 means transformation. I always say it's what happens right before you get into alignment. It's like when you're going down against the flow of the river and you have to go back, or you have to like just flow with the river. It just like, think of it as like being on Big Brother on that game where the water's like coming down, they're trying to climb up and they just keep falling backwards. That's what the 5s are, just slide back down. Okay, after all, whatever work has been put into something, it's just sliding back down. So the 5 of Swords is kind of like a regret. It's being in your head. Swords are about or like thinking, being in your head. Can also be like words that you've said, something that you might have regretted saying. Like 5 of Swords is kind of my regret card. It has 3 swords on the ground, or 5 swords all on the ground. Like they've put their swords down, but there's 2 people in the background that are walking away. So this is like kind of feeling lonely and stuff as well, because 5 of Pentacles, or this is like thinking about being lonely, or maybe not communicating with people because these people in the background are not there to listen. You have your swords down, so you're basically just in your head, right? Maybe thinking about these people in the background. But the 5 of Pentacles is being like left out in the cold. This can have to deal with money. This can be like a transformation, like you have to lose it all, like you got to risk it for the biscuit type thing. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you have made some risks that have not panned out yet. Or maybe this is like, it's the kind of what the universe does, where it's like it's all about detachment. This is my detachment card. I feel like anytime there's like a huge change in my life, I have to get rid of shit and make room for new shit. So this is kind of like that card. But this can also be like being left out in the cold. You see there's like a mother holding a child here. You're kind of like in that infant energy, like you're stepping into a new world. This is right before the Six of Swords, which is which reminds what I associate the Six of Swords with is like getting into alignment again. It's that going with the flow instead of going against the flow, finally getting in the right direction. But it's kind of like you gotta let some things go, okay? This could also be like issues with the parent or something like that. Just being in your head about relationships in general. Maybe you're feeling lonely. These cards look pretty lonely to me. And also like money situations. Which again, pentacles are like physical things that are in our physical realm. Can be like money, time, man-made, constructed things that have manifested, things we can see. I know you think of time you can't see, but time is a man-made construct. It is something that we look at. We don't intuitively know what time it is. We look at it. It's numbers that were man-made type thing. Okay, so and then swords again are like being in our head. It's doing a lot of thinking. Maybe a lot of thinking of being left out in the cold, or trying to do things to not be left out in the cold. Or maybe you're just you're thinking, you're not really doing, you're just thinking type thing. And it's making you lose a lot because it's not really, maybe your vibration isn't, because cups are vibration. This would be this is your power. Your emotions are your power, not your words, not your logic, not what you learn, not what you know. This is how you feel. What you feel, your energy, what you vibrate is what you attract. But what's holding you back from this emotional fulfillment is this. It's this logical thinking and physical manifestation of it, or lack thereof it. So just like get into your body, get into like your feminine energy here. And this can be for male or female. This is about like receiving. So get into your divine feminine. It's all about movement, like feeling your body. Okay. So let's see what is at the root of the situation. This is subconscious. Ten of Wands, burden. So we've got everybody here. We've got Pentacles, Swords, Cups, and Wands. This is fire energy. Ten of Wands is letting go of burdens, or having a lot of burdens on your back. But this is about letting them go. So this is someone who's been, again, this is like going up that Big Brother. I don't know why I'm thinking about Big Brother so much. I haven't even watched that show in forever. But this is like going up that thing with all the water flowing down. Going uphill with so much burdens on your back. This is finally about letting them go. But this is subconscious. This is like in your mind, it's like you know that you need to let the burdens go. And this is about passion. Wands are about passion. They're kind of like our sexual energy, which again can be about getting into your feminine energy. I feel like, what is the most recent past? I'm looking at this book again, and I just keep seeing the yods. Yods are divine things that happen. They're on our natal chart, which is our astrology chart. I know it's weird. Our natal chart. Yeah, natal chart is our star chart when we're born. It's our horoscope. And yods on our star chart are divinely orchestrated things that are meant to happen. And I'm just seeing those. I'm feeling like something is meant to happen here. And maybe something in the past was meant to happen. So I'm seeing these yods. And I'm seeing 2 and 3. So maybe it was a decision. Maybe I had to deal with working with some other people. I might have had to deal with 5 again, like a transformation. Okay, so in the past we have Ace of Swords, an epiphany. This is like logical thinking and communication. This sometimes means like cutting communication off with someone after having like an epiphany. Or maybe it's an epiphany. And it's weird because I'm seeing these flames right here, and it's reminding me of these because yods are like flames too. That's what the Hebrew alphabet is made up of, is yods, and they're like flames. And I see these 2 flames here. I've never noticed that in this card. There's these 2 flames, and then the 2 flames that he's holding, and then this one that they're holding. So he's got these 2 that he's holding, and then they're holding the sword. So this is about I feel like this is about an epiphany, about what you're passionate about, honestly. I think of passion. What is in the immediate future? Ten of Swords. A lot of swords here. That's air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It's also logical thinking type stuff, programming, I like to call it. Ten of Swords is a heartbreak. So in the past you had an epiphany. Coming up in the future, not to scare anyone, but it is the end of heartbreak. It is kind of like you've had an epiphany in the past, and then coming up, it's like someone pinned you like a pin cushion. Okay, like this person's like stabbed in the back. Could be about someone like talking behind your back. It could be about like you realizing like your negative thinking has been like a burden. Again, swords are about like logic, thinking, communication. But tens are endings. So 10 of Wands is letting go of burdens. 10 of Swords is like the end of something. Which is funny because wands are like the start of something, right? In the past, it's like something, an epiphany about something, and now it's over, coming up. So let's look at the current energy. So that's the immediate future. Which we're in a very transformative time right now. Clearly everyone knows. Can feel something's up. A lot of things are changing, the way we work, the way we live. Let's look at the current energy. Knight of Cups. Knights are kind of like in and out energy. They haven't yet graduated to kings, but they are more advanced than pages. So the Knight of Cups again is about emotions. This can be about like getting in tune with your emotions. I also say this is like my proposal card. Not that I'm like saying that is happening, but this could be about like being vulnerable with someone, or knowing that you need to be vulnerable with someone, or maybe being vulnerable with yourself. I also see this as like knights are heavily armored, and when it comes to our emotions, it's like maybe we aren't able to feel our emotions sometimes, which can be a heavy burden when we're not listening to our body. We're only listening to our ego, which is our mind, which I wonder sometimes if we would even have an ego if we didn't have words. Because again, words are man-made. If we didn't have words, what would we have chattering in our mind? You know, if we would even have that chatter. So this is kind of about like maybe being in touch with yourself, or getting in touch with yourself, or realizing you need to get in touch with yourself, but being like heavily guarded, like not feeling your feelings, which could be like drinking a lot, using any type of substance that alters your physical state. Kind of, this is like the numb card to me a little bit. I know this is like the emotional card. It's supposed to be like watery energy, but I always see this as like an empty cup and someone heavily armored and not being able to feel their emotions. That's the current energy. Which is funny because the whole point of this whole entire reading is 9 of Cups, which is getting in alignment, feeling your emotions. What feels good. That's how you know you're in high vibration. What feels good. It's not the emotion of happy, I don't believe in emotions or names of emotions. We all are completely different, made of different chemical makeups, different DNA, different everything. No one has ever been in anyone else's body to say that they feel the same thing about something. So for us to have names for how we feel is a little too small of a box for me to accept. So I just feel like this is saying like maybe just closed off. Feeling that you're like heavily emotional in a way. You're just now finally starting to feel things. You're starting to realize that your cup is empty. You haven't been happy with it. Let's see what's in the environment. In the environment is the 10 of Cups. Okay, so let's started out of the reading, said Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is when you are happy with thyself. Happy with thyself. All of your cups are filled, right? In the environment. This is not your energy. This is in the environment, which I said at the beginning of the reading. Ten of Cups is that last cup, that emotional connection with someone else, which would be the Ten of Cups. And here it is. It's got two people with the kid. This is basically saying to me that in the environment, like, you're happily ever after. And this doesn't have to be a partnership. This doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be none of that. It can be a job. It could be whatever you were aiming for in life. Your Ten of Cups is going to make you emotionally fulfilled, because we're at a crossroads again with this energy going on, the Aries New Moon. It's in the environment. It's waiting for you to call it in. But with all these other negative, logical, physical, only seeing what you want to, or seeing, seeing is believing is bullshit to me. You don't see what the temperature is unless you look at a thermostat, which is what I call tarot. I say tarot is the thermostat of the energy around us. It tells us what's going on. It doesn't tell us what to do. It doesn't predict the future. It tells us what the current energy of the state of everything is in, and that's what a thermostat does. So this is saying that in the environment, something is waiting on you to call it in. It's there. It's there. You have to get out of your head. Maybe do some meditation. Do things that make you happy. Like, try it. I know sometimes, like, when I first started my business, it would be like the days that I would, like, stay behind my computer or try to network or pass out cards on King Street or go up and down to different salons banging on doors. I said it was the Will Smith of teeth whitening, because I would just carry my lamp up and down the street. I would put it on my freaking moped and go to different salons and see if anybody wanted teeth whitening and offer the people that own the salon a cut if one of their customers wanted their teeth whitened. On those days, not shit would happen, okay? Not shit. But the day that Greg would make me go play golf, my phone would blow up. The entire time I was playing golf, my phone would blow up. People would make appointments. Like, it was insane. When I was, chill, doing something I wanted to do, out in the sun, living my life, that is when I was attracting, okay? But when I was, like, desperate for business, banging on doors, that's when it was like, not crap was happening, okay? So that's what I kind of feel like that's saying. So now let's look at the advice. Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is, I don't want to say it's another loneliness card, but it kind of is, because here's these Three of Cups. So Three of Cups in tarot stands for, like, going out, reconciliations with people, like hanging out with people. It's like celebration card. It's like, I say Two of Cups is like being vulnerable with someone else. Three of Cups is like friendships, like a group of people being vulnerable with each other. But this has the Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is, so here's these Three of Cups on the ground. This person has their eyes closed. There's also a third eye at the top of this card. But then there's a cup. I would say this is the universe. Like, this is that, y'all, divine intervention. Something's trying to come in. It's that 10th cup, y'all. It's that freaking 10th cup. So here is the Nine of Cups. Here's the 10 of Cups. And here's the Four of Cups. And I was about to say Three of Cups, because part of me thinks that this is like, you're calling in this celebration. You're calling in this happiness. But you don't see it, because maybe you're too in your head. Like, this is someone that's just chilling. But you don't see it yet. You're calling it in, but you don't see it. This is like, also to me, it's kind of like a faith card. It's like knowing that something's coming in, and still just having faith. All right, let's see what the best possible outcome is. So the advice is, I guess, to keep the faith, meditate. I want to say go out, like celebrate, be vulnerable with your friends. Like, all it takes is for you to, emotionally connect with one person to like change your life, and it doesn't have to be in a sexual or relationship kind of way, or romantic way. It is any type of connection we make with another human being can completely change the direction of your life. Oh, and this is beautiful. So the best possible outcome is the Ace of Cups. Again, this is that cup. So here's that cup from the universe trying to give it to you. 9 of Cups, you got to be emotionally good with yourself. You got to be good with yourself. You got to know that you hold the power to all of your happiness. Only you. Nobody's coming to save you. Only you. This 10 of Cups is going to call someone else in. You're going to have everything you need. But again, at the end of the day, you have to be okay with by yourself. Because no matter what, marriage, contracts in business, partnerships in business, in finances, whatever, still is not protection from death, from someone wanting to pull out or break a commitment. Like, you have to be good on your own, because this is not guaranteed forever, okay? This is, like, people don't die together, you know? People don't have, like, the same wave of emotions as the other person, and someone might be in 1 minute and might be out at another. In any asset of our life, romantic, business, anything, you have to be good on your own, always, because if you depend too much on the other one, it can be taken away at any time, and you're back in this situation, okay? Which, I mean, grief is a horrible thing. It's not horrible, it's like something we have to go through, but it's like, you gotta be good. You gotta know that that cup that was holding you up for a while or whatever, that you've been waiting on, that you've been depending on, like, that you can feel it. The universe can feel it. And here it is, the Ace of Cups. This is like the universe bringing it in. It's that 10th cup. It's that cup that's floating in the air. It's the best possible outcome. It's for you to get right with yourself and call this in. And it's crazy. It's like the pendulum that we started off with. The pendulum. I kind of want to do one more quote just to close it out. Do mastery. That's page 225. So that's 4. That's a 9. 9s are about things coming to an end. They haven't ended yet. Things coming to an end. And so I'm going to read this part. I'm going to start with, it would have had its own vocabulary. She could not shake the image of the beauty of this non-existent dance. She would never have this chance again. With age comes conservatism and the need for comfort. To create what was not out there, she would have to start her own school and dance troupe, building up the technique and discipline on her own.